Hello everybody, I want to give you a quick overview of how we do programming for our LEGO robots. This is the basic robot that we've built in the club so far. It's two large motors, two wheels, and the brick. This thing on the top is called the brick. You can see the right motor is connected to port B over here, and what this over here as it's driving forward is the left motor. It's connected to port A right here. A, B, C, and D are for motors. On the other side, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are for sensors. We don't have any sensors attached right now, so those will come later. So that's all it says right now. Two motors to drive with. And we're going to switch over to the programming view and start writing a program to make this robot do something. This is what the screen looks like for making programs for our robot. Down at the bottom are all the different kinds of blocks you can add to the program, and each block can do a different kind of function. The green ones are mostly to do with motors, and the orange ones have to do with controlling the flow of the program, and the yellow ones control sensors, and on. But for right now, we're going to start just with the simple ones, the green ones that control action. So we're going to make a 4-step program. We're going to make the robot drive straight ahead, then we're going to make it turn right, then we're going to make it drive straight ahead, then we're going to make it turn left. So each one of those 4 steps is going to have a block. And in this case, we're only using one kind of block, which is this thing, which is called move tank. And it's called move tank because it's, well, I don't know why it's called that. It doesn't really matter. The instructions for the block, we drag it up from the bottom and we connect it to the start of the program, this little thing here with the play button. This is the beginning. The program starts here and it just runs through every block until it gets to the end, and then the program is over. We have the controls that we have, see here, this is the power for the left wheel and the power for the right wheel, and this is the number of rotations, like the number of times we want the wheel to turn. First, right off the bat, if you remember, the motors are connected to the ports A and B, not to B and C like it says here. So I have to change this to A and B. All right. Now, the power on the 2 wheels can go from 0 to 100. 40 is a pretty good middle of the road value. So because when the power is equal on the 2 wheels, it should go straight ahead. And we're going to tell it to go for 4 rotations. All right, so that is our first step, just driving straight ahead. Now, next step is a right turn. So we're going to get another one of these move tank blocks, and we're going to connect it. And now we're going to use the same power on the left wheel, 40. On the right wheel, we're going to make it 0. And we're going to do that for 2 rotations. So close your eyes for a second and imagine a car or a golf cart or anything like that. Imagine if the left wheels are turning, but the right wheel is sitting still. It's going to turn to the right. And you'll see that when I demonstrate this in a second. Okay, so there's our right turn. Okay, next we're going to go straight ahead again. So this is just a copy of the first block. Power 40 and on the left and 40 on the right. So since the power is equal on both wheels, it's going to go straight ahead. And we'll do that for another 4 rotations. That just means the wheel is going to turn 4 times. All right, so then the last thing we're going to do, the last step, is going to be a right turn. So can you imagine how that's going to go? Yeah, if the power is 0 on the left and 40 on the right, so the right wheel is turning and the right wheel is turning, the left wheel is sitting still, that means it's going to turn to the left. And we're going to do that let's do that for 3 rotations this time. Okay, now I already see that I got a mistake. And that is, I have to remember to set these to the right ports. This is a kind of mistake that can come up all the time if you run a program and nothing seems to happen. It could be that you're sending those instructions to the wrong ports And so the motors are not turning just because they're not getting any instructions. All right, so that's my program. We start, drive forward, straight ahead. And when this block is finished, then it just goes to the next block. And that's 40 on the left and 0 on the right, which means right turn. Then we're going to go here and go straight ahead again for 4 rotations. And then over here, this is going to be a right turn because the left wheel sits still and the right while the right wheel is turning. Now let's take it out to the kitchen and I'll let you see it. I'll let you see how it works. And you'll be able to see the program running, and I want you to watch this little green bar up here. It'll show you, it's going to blink or kind of flash showing you which part of the program is running. So like when the program's running, when it's running straight ahead, you're going to see this bar kind of flashing. Then when it starts to do its first turn, you're going to see this one flashing. Then when it drives straight ahead again, you're going to see this one going. And then when it does its last turn, you're going to see this one going. So watch for that when I show you this demo in just a second. So here we are in the kitchen and you can see the program. So we're going to start it off and we're running straight ahead right now and getting ready to do, there's the right turn. See it's flashing, and now we're driving straight ahead again. Getting ready for the, look, there's the left turn, and that's it. That's how it works. Happens fast, doesn't it? Okay, we're going to go through that again, but this time I've slowed it down to about 10% speed. So watch how it starts and really pay attention up atop to the blinking of the green, see? All right, so now we're going through that turn and we're going straight because both motors are getting equal amounts of power. When we switch to the right turn, see that only the left wheel is turning. Now we're going straight ahead again because both wheels are getting power. And pretty soon we're going to switch to where only the right wheel is turning. See that? Only the right wheel is turning, which makes for a left turn. And it takes a while to get used to watching how fast this goes. Okay, so here we are back in the Mindstorms application, and I just wanted you to have one more full-size view of what this program looks like. I'm going to even zoom in on it a little bit, just to give you a little bit of a better view. There's not much to it. And one thing you got to really watch, I think maybe you saw in that first video, things happen really quickly. It went through this block and this block and this block and this block really quick. And if you're not really watching, it can be easy to miss which step you were on, which step the robot was on when it was running its program. So that's something that it takes a little getting used to. A lot of things can happen really quickly, but when your program's going wrong and you're trying to figure out which part needs to be fixed, you really got to be able to see which step are we in along the way. So I would say every time you're trying to write a program, really pay attention. Which step is it on? Which step is it on? Which step is it on? And pretty soon we'll get into some other kinds of blocks that you can work with and other things you can do. This is just the very first basic demo, and hopefully it gives you an idea of a little bit of an idea about how this all works. That's it for now.